This week, we're kind of continuing in this crowdsourcing Dan's new band project venture, because he's in the process of hammering out his song list for this upcoming show. And I thought it would be kind of a fun idea to do like a head-to-head of songs that we do. And now mine are in the order that we typically play them in.
Yeah.
Dan's are not quite.
Mine are not. I mean, well, really not at all. I think I have my first and last down, but there's no W theory to this. It's a deep cut in terms of our
references,
content. Yeah, references. But some of you who go back far enough with us, or those beautiful maniacs who've listened through every episode, will know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no shape to this set list as I have it currently laid out at all. We're just learning them, so we're kind of learning, in the order that we're learning them, and not what we're actually going to put on stage.
But I think it's a good conversation about what job the songs do, and maybe it'll kind of help inform your decisions on where stuff should go.
And the first thing you got to decide is where you're going to start, right?
Absolutely.
You have a theory,
and I do, and you seem to have taken a little bit of inspo from what we are doing, but we start off every show pretty much, unless it's like a themed event or whatever. We do Video Killed the Radio Star because it's the first song that MTV ever played. And it's got the I Want My MTV commercial on the front end of it. So that starts, and then we go directly into the song. It's kind of a way to like set the mood and set the tone and be like, all right, we're going back in time. This is where we're going.
Yep. And I've built about a 90-second sort of nostalgia audio reel with things like the Price is Right theme and the, Mario bedinging into a brick and Hulkamania yelling at you and a bunch of other things, Pee Wee Herman laugh, various other things that are audio signals that it's the 80s now. As those sounds are happening, I'm bringing up the drum intro to 1999 by Prince, and the track contains the synth opening to that, and then a count in to that dropping out and the band taking over. So got about 90 seconds, maybe almost 2 minutes of audio that is like the walk-on sound and lights coming up and all of that into our first tune, which is 1999.
There you go. Right after that, we're trying to keep the energy up, keep things moving. We go right into Summer of '69, Bryan Adams. Now, do you have any Bryan Adams in your setup?
I do, and it's Run to You. Similar kind of rock tune. I think that, I don't know, when you say Summer '69, I'm suddenly jealous that that's the one you're doing, and that's not the one I'm doing. So I may need to reconsider that. But I have done Run to You with bands in the past, and it's okay. Nobody's going to particularly select it, but it does fine.
Yeah, to me, it's like the same song as Refugee.
Yes.
Like they're very much the same song to me.
Yeah.
The intent with this one is to kind of keep the energy up, because if Video Killed the Radio Star doesn't get people's attention, typically Summer of '69 will.
Yeah.
Because you're just kind of you're basically trying to come at it from different angles to figure out. As I'm looking through this, it is very clear that like the objective of the first three songs is to grab every kind of person who might be in that crowd and make sure that they are like locked in with what we're doing.
Totally.
And I say that because the next song that we played is Jesse's Girl, which I think for some bands might feel like it's a little early in the night, but because it's kind of a mid-tempo song, and for reference, this is like a 90-minute, 2-hour set. This is not like multiple sets where you kind of have a wave. Like the intent is to just go out and just basically rip people's heads off with as many bangers as we could possibly cram into that time frame.
Yep.
What about you? What do you think for third?
My second and third, as I currently have them laid out, and again, not final, but it's a similar intention to hit different demos. Now, I think I'm more of a new wave kid than some others are. So my number two tune is Once in a Lifetime, Talking Heads, which I'm not really aware of any other band covering. And I think...
Yeah, we don't.
I hope people love that song and that it is central to their identity as an 80s kid the way it is to mine. We'll find out. Ultimately, the choice is up to the audience, and we'll do the another deep conceptual cut. We'll do the Wang Chung experiment.
Yes.
And if everybody does not Wang Chung tonight, we will know that it needs to go away. But that's one that we have number two. And then number three is Africa. It's just straight down the middle pop that everybody loves. Everyone will sing along to it.
Yeah, Africa is normally in our first set. In this particular one that I'm referencing, it's not there. But yeah, if we're doing more than 2 hours, it would be in the first set as again, something that is super familiar. Everybody knows it. I feel like I'm getting a little sick of it just because there was when it had like its own kind of pop culture moment the past few years with, Weezer putting their version out.
Yeah.
I'm ambivalent to it. How about that?
Huh, fair enough.
But yeah, not the top of my list priority wise.
Yeah. After those three, I have the one that we've opened every New Strange show with, or almost every, Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds, which is just a great, there's hardly a better start of a song to get attention than that one. I've never had a lot of sing-along uptake, even on the hey, 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 you'd think by the second time that happens in the song. But the reality is I've come to learn that when you do that as your opener, you don't have enough buy-in from the room to get that from them yet.
Right.
But maybe as song 4, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't even do the hey hey heys on the second pass.
Oh,
you just throw the mic out. Most people know the assignment.
Yeah.
So the third tune in our set, we're talking about Jesse's Girl. Now this is a situation where we've got, we were talking about song blocks. So our block here, we go from Jesse's Girl directly into Shadows of the Night by Pat Benatar.
Okay.
Which is it's a big, just barn burner of an anthem. And the way that we tie it in is the ending of Jesse's Girl retards and then resolves on the 1. Well, What we opt to do is we hang on that G chord because that's the starting tone for Shadows of the Night. So you hold down the G, and then the intro of that song is a cappella. So it's just a way to use as a reference. And then we go into it, and it's these big like diamond stabs on the chords. Uh-huh. We do this big like arm like windmill thing in unison. Awesome. So again, it's big focal point, a way to kind of draw people's attention in, and so over the top. And that song just rips. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, good. Well, so after Don't You Forget, we're into stuff that I'm sure I have in the wrong place. But since I'm looking at it on the screen right here, the next one that we have up is Love Song by The Cure, which again, we are leaning alt and new wave in some ways, because that was not in small part because it was what I listened to. But I do Love Song acoustic now, and every time I do, 2 or 3 people come up specifically to tell me that they love that song and are amazed that I played it. And I think it's one of those ones that like everyone kind of hears that whenever I'm alone with you. No, I think people generally know that, and there are some people who this song was like an identity song for them. And so I feel like it's a good choice, even though it may not be a general crowd pleaser. Yeah,
we got some Cure in our set list. It's a little later further down the list. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. For us, next one is we're keeping with the barn burners. Any way you want it. Journey.
Nice.
So we like a big a cappella opening. That's kind of apparently something that we've got a lot of.
That's good. And that one has the Caddyshack tie-in.
Yep.
So
I need to start saying, so let's dance.
That's right. Yeah.
That'll be good.
Bring out a enormous golf bag.
Yep.
Pretend to turn it on.
With a car radio inside of it.
Right.
What about you? What's next?
Speaking of Let's Dance, our next one is Let's Dance by David Bowie.
Hey! That's funny.
Yeah. When you said that, I was like, oh, this could be a fun segue. And it was. That one is just a massive winner. Ironically, impossible to dance to. It's not a dance number, but we can sway through the crowd to an empty place. That's a thing we can do to it. We follow that with Jesse's Girl. And then the next one I have on here, again, I don't think I have it in the right place, but it's Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel.
Yep. It's on our list too.
Yep.
All right. After Any Way You Want It, we're again just pummeling people. Take on Me. Aha.
Sure, we do that. Again, the order I don't have, but I do have that one on the list. Now, interestingly, and it's worth noting, for this show that intros this whole thing, Taylor won't be with us, so we're not doing any girl songs that I couldn't cover.
Right.
And Take on Me would be the low part of the course is too low for her, and the high part of the course is too high for me. So all on my own, I'm going to have to drop the highest note of that an octave, which I'm pretty good at. I do it acoustic, and I have made that an artistic choice that flies. But we'll see. If with tracks that moment of inauthenticity is too hard for the crowd to swallow, we'll find out.
Yeah, and that one is typically no higher up in the set list because, frankly, I need 6 songs to get into a place where I can do it.
Yeah.
And the interesting part for us when we do this, the hardest note for me to hit is take.
Right.
And I mean, it's pretty ridiculous to think, you're jumping 3 octaves.
It's a 3-octave
in a single chorus.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
that's the one that never hits. Right. That note always, I'm like, it doesn't sound. It's horrible.
Yeah. No, I can get that one. I'm fine on that one. That's not my problem. Yeah. Next up for us after Sledgehammer is Jenny, 8675309.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Yeah.
We don't do it. Done it before. Haven't done it in ages.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
And was that because of crowd response or just you got sick of it?
I think I'm just being particular about it. I think.
All right, that's fine.
If somebody in the band was like, "Hey, we should add this in," I may hem and haw, but I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't morally object or make a stink about it.
Not a hill you'd die on. You're just not choosing it one.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think there are other songs that fill that spot better, and I'm going to completely undo that theory by referencing something that I don't ever see anybody do, because our next song is "The Look" by Roxette.
Yeah, I don't see anyone do that one.
The thing is, though, that with it's a co-ed song, and it's got a call and response. It's got really good harmonies, and it's just one of those songs that we'll do that song at a public sound check because it's just one of those tunes that we just nail. And so if somebody hears that, they'll be like, "Oh snap, we need to come back and see what this is about."
Guys. Yeah,
because I think it kind of tells them everything they need to know. They've got co-ed vocalists, and they're students of the era.
That's right. Yeah,
pulling something out like that. And the other thing that we really love is that there's a part right before the outro where everything drops out, and because we were on clicks, when that comes back in on the 4 is just it just crushes. People love it. It's a good one. People really dig it.
That's good. We'll see if people dig my next one, which is "Talking in Your Sleep" by the Romantics.
We used to do it. Haven't done it in a while. It was a first setter for us, and kind of like I said, I think other songs just kind of took its place.
Mm-hmm.
If you're thinking about the energy of that kind of tune, because it's a swayer.
Yep.
It could potentially take the spot of a "Let's Dance."
Yes. Yeah. I like the way the song interlocks, the bass line interlocking with the guitar line, the way that it does. It's just a neat
syncopation.
Yeah, it's structurally neat. But whether I'm enjoying myself at the expense of the audience liking it is yet to be determined.
So are you impersonating the delay?
Yes. Yes, I'm not doing the delay in effects. Sleep. Yeah. I couldn't. I with the vocal pedal I have, I can trigger echo like that, but having it at the right tap tempo and all that stuff. Well, now that we're on clicks, I guess it's not so tricky. In principle, I could activate that from an automation track in Band Helper. I could set the tempo and turn on and off the click. When we get a couple more down, I'll talk about a song that is both paging its way through Band Helper on its own and changing settings on my quad cortex in timing. And it's pretty great. So I could do that.
Next tune for us is "Footloose." And now this is pretty early in the set. We normally would end a first set with this one.
That's a good
It's got a real, it's got a real hard, ending that, pow.
We'll be back.
And you're like, thank you, we'll be right back. Yeah. It's a good one to do that on. But yeah, we're doing this. I mean, we're less than 10 songs in, and we're already throwing caution to the wind.
Interestingly, we're getting loose. We're getting loose on this one too. Our next one is "Hold On Loosely," which we're not doing with a track, just doing it straight ahead with guitars. I've played that one for a long time, and I like it a lot. That guitar, in the bridge, there's like a guitar figure thing that's fun. It's high chords just on the top 3 strings. It's the same stuff that's happening in the rest of the song, but it's played differently, and it's nice. Following that, "Tainted Love," Soft Cell.
Very good.
And this is the first tune of several that I'm going to organize together. I'm not talking about them together because we're not talking about them in order, but starting here, it will be a guitar down, vocals only experience for me for a few songs. Okay. There's some songs that are just track, it's all synth. And so I will be free roaming on wireless for some period of the show while we coalesce those tunes together.
Nice. We would do that one in conjunction with "Always Something There to Remind Me," same tempo. And so it hasn't been in the set recently, but that's one that we put together for, it was kind of like a 1-2 punch for a long time. And sometimes we'll pull it back out just for old time's sake. But we've got another combo coming in right here, which is "Kiss" by Prince directly into "Don't You Forget About Me." Energetically very different songs, same tempo though, and the way that we transition is that last "I just want your extra time in your down."
I totally hear it. I totally hear it. I may steal that. Because actually, Don't You Forget About Me is my fourth song, as I said earlier, but it's been the set opener for us forever. That's really nice. Don't be surprised if I steal that.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
And we're crowdsourcing here, so
Yeah,
we're actually
absolutely.
Adam sourcing. You're the only crowd at the moment, but it's fine.
Well, if you have any suggestions,
Yeah.
if you're an 80s band out there, hit us up, coverbandconfidential@gmail.com. We are very much open to suggestions. Leave a comment in the if you're watching this on YouTube. We all want to know about it. All right, moving down the list, we got The Beat by the Go-Go's.
Nice. All right.
It's a good one.
Yep.
Good energy, and it is one of those things that if there are girls at the bar, that song starts, they just hear, they just know that it's about to go off, and they just make a beeline to the dance floor.
Yeah,
so
that's good. I don't have that. Obviously, I don't have Taylor for this one, so we'll need to work up all the kind of girl songs after we get this under our belt. My next up's not a girl song at all. It's Eyes Without a Face, Billy Idol. And I've done Moni Moni a lot. I've done Moni Moni is the bit one I've done most of his, but I love Eyes Without a Face because the vibe of it is so cool. It's not a dancer. This is probably the low point of the whole, energy down section of the thing. But that bridge in the middle with the guitar riff and the kind of rap that he's doing is it's so cool. It's such a vibe.
We've done Dancing with Myself is the one that makes the most appearances. We've done Rebel Yell. We've done a couple of other ones, but that's the one that typically comes up because, again, it's super high energy. It's fast.
Yeah.
People really seem to dig that. But this next one for us is also kind of a we're dropping the energy level down considerably. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight.
Oh, must have been something I said.
Yes. The intent with this one is to just really overdo it.
Sure. No, this is a high drama. This is a piece of theater, this song. Yeah.
Yeah, and I still, like, every time I hear the song, I just think of Will Ferrell and Horatio Sands doing the bit from SNL, where they were hired to play at a wedding, and it's the only song they learned, and they keep trying to start the song at the wrong time.
I haven't seen it. I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, you should look it up for sure. All right, let's keep it moving. The next one, Simply Irresistible, Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
You have some of his stuff in your set a little later, don't you?
I do. I have Addicted to Love. We haven't gotten that one together yet.
Okay.
So maybe I'll swap it out. That's it. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what I'll do.
It's mid-tempo. I mean, I think if you could like convincingly do have somebody doing the moves, maybe it would really hit.
Right. Yeah, I need Taylor and Ben to learn the... It's not a complicated dance those girls are doing.
No. I mean, Christmas is all around you. It's the exact same dance.
Yeah.
Simply Irresistible is just a barn burner. It's fast and it rocks, and vocally it's kind of it's a bit challenging because you really have to you got to give it some grit. You got to sell it, and there's a lot of words. Those pre-choruses are real thick.
She's a powerful.
Yeah, but they're different every single time. Oh. She's a natural law, and she leaves me in awe. They're all different. So you gotta. That's one where I do still kind of lean on the monitor.
Sure.
To make sure I'm saying the right stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. People really like it.
Yeah.
I also like all the pshong pshing sounds.
There are nice effects in that one. That's true. Yeah. Speaking of nice effects, our next one is Down Under, Men at Work. Another mid-tempoer. I'm noticing a theme. I got a lot of mid-tempo. I may need to find some more banging. We start banging a little harder a little later on.
Is that what you do?
We bang harder, yeah. You gotta bang hard.
Cool guy.
Yeah. Following that, Psycho Killer, which we've done forever, and we'll again no track for that one, just banging it the way we do. And that one's fun. That one's super fun. We get a lot of uptake on that one.
It is interesting though, because the bands that you do multiple songs do kind of give away the things that you're really into.
Yeah.
And so like for us, it's Journey, it's Prince, it's there. Yeah, we definitely are showing our hand on a few of these. The next one for us, again, the diversity of vocalists makes this a lot easier. We're Kids in America, Kim Wilde, and that one's cool. It's got a big kind of build up. A lot of the songs that we do, we tend to cut the outros a bit.
Sure.
I think that might be the only one where we didn't do it a whole lot because there's just a lot of those. We're the kids in America.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's an even number, but I don't remember.
your cue track takes care of you knowing when, right? So you don't
does.
don't need to worry about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. You just go until
Yeah.
it tells you to stop.
Speaking of, at the back at the top of the list, Africa, I did put in. We usually do the last "I Bless the Rains Down Africa" 4 times and then do the final line and get out. But in the track, it's like 6, and so or 5, or it's not the number we're used to.
It's an odd number.
Yeah. So I put last time cue on the last one using my AI voice thing that I'm using.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just this queuing is just great. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I don't want to say turn your brain off, but all of that counting and structure that I have to keep in my head, like I got a voice telling me, it's super helpful.
Yeah. All right, moving along with this, we got Hungry Like the Wolf. Duran.
Yeah, that one's next. Well, second to next. That one's
okay.
The one after for me. Yeah. Good tune.
That one is probably the one that's the most choreo heavy for us. We
got little kicks.
It kind of organically started happening.
Yeah.
But now it's a part of the whole show.
Yeah.
And we do like these kind of like step. You have to see it to believe it. That's all I'll say about it.
I can't wait. I will say, of all the I knew I wanted some Duran Duran, but as I thought about them, most of the songs that I would want to do, people totally won't recognize until the chorus, and then they'll totally recognize it. Right? You do Rio, and it's probably recognizable as Duran Duran, but which one? I don't know. Oh, her name is Rio. That's how that's going to go. Fortunately, Hunger Like the Wolf, you got this do that they're all going to sing along with, and it's the second line, and so you kind of save yourself from that problem. Coming into Hunger Like a Wolf, though, prior to that, we are doing Sharp Dressed Man, ZZ Top.
Nice. We've never done that one.
Yeah, it's fun. I think I anticipate some participation in the stop, at the end of the chorus. Sharp Dressed Man. That's probably a lot of that.
We had done Give Me All Your Lovin' in a previous incarnation. It's also really, I mean, people really dig that era of stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, you could do that. You could do Legs. I mean, they're all kind of, again,
they're the same song
in a show. Yeah, in a show like this, they all serve the same purpose, really.
Right. And that whole album, Violator.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, essentially, it was the same song like 12 times. So
yep,
pick one. We're picking Sharp Dressed Man. Next up after Hungry, though, is Just What I Needed, the Cars. And this is the one that I experimented with band helper automation on. So, the intro that is right, and it's popping to between a crunch and a full distortion patch on each of those, the 4 of each of those bars. It walks the chart up the page. It does, kicks me over into my lead channel when that time happens, and then back when it's over, and I literally touch nothing, and it's boy, that's the holy grail. That's really how I want it. The other thing is, with band helper, we're now doing the screen share thing, so everybody on their iPads, my screen is landing on their thing, and it's a little bit of lag, but not bad. And so if I can make it so that I'm hands-free and driving everybody's visuals while I'm automating all of my pedals, that's cool. That's cool.
After we do Hungry Like the Wolf, we were doing I Ran, Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah.
And we do it a bit heavier because we've got 2 guitar players in the band. And if you're curious about putting that into your set, I would suggest looking up Bowling for Soup's version, because they do kind of a rocked up version of it while still kind of retaining the same sound and vibe. But yeah, instead of just letting the bass do all of that work, you've got one of us doing the kind of melodic lines that are from the record, and I'm just chugging along, chug, going on what the bass is doing.
Yep. Nice.
Goes over well.
Nice. My next one that we haven't already talked about is I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles by the Proclaimers.
We don't do that one, weird enough. We do it in the 90s band.
Yeah, it was a very late 80s record.
Yes, it's a sticky wicket because it was released in 1989, but everybody knows it from Benny and June, which was released in the 90s. Right. That's when it broke in the States.
Yeah.
So this next one for us is our Cure song. We do Just Like Heaven.
Oh, okay.
And so that's my opportunity to, do my best Robert Smith.
Yeah.
Show me, show me, show me.
Right.
Just as big as I can do it.
Of course.
It's one of those that I get points for doing it because Amber likes it.
Oh, yeah. You got to do that.
She literally just leaves. She'll walk off and just watch it because she's like, I love this song so much.
Yeah. Personal, private performance.
Yeah.
My next one that we haven't talked about, I have a few here that we already mentioned. Don't You Want Me, Human League.
Yes, we do it too.
I will need to. That one probably will get pulled out because I don't have Taylor for the show.
Yes.
But
It's gonna be hard
again,
to
another
tell both sides of that
yeah.
story.
Again, it's another piece of drama. This was a theatrical act.
It would be pretty funny if you just had a wig
Ha!
and you did both versions. You would still have to have somebody, back you up in the with the harmonies.
Yeah.
Because without the harmonies, that song does not work.
Right.
Otherwise, you just sound like a whiny dude.
Yeah.
All right, next for us, Walk Like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
Bengals.
I'm
A little
thinking
problematic.
Hard. Yeah.
But
well,
people seem to just ignore it.
Yeah. Nobody knows lyrics anyway.
And you get to
Do the walk.
whatever they
Yeah,
say.
you gotta. Well, yeah, like or as an Egyptian. Yes, I am contemplating that one myself. We'll see about that one when I add girl songs in. That may very well be one. Our next up is "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic" by the Police, and the Police again is that's an act I could do many of. would not mind tipping my hand about that. I've covered a few of those, especially acoustic. I do a lot of them, but this is my first time doing Every Little Thing in a band setting. It's tricky because it goes halftime. It starts halftime and goes to double time for choruses in the outro, which Charlie was just like, "Oh, I got to go listen to this." Let alone that Stuart Copeland being Stuart Copeland. So
Yeah, that's deceivingly difficult.
and the drums are coming through a delay on that one too. That was in his era of experimenting with drum delay. So when you listen to it,
yeah, you're getting a lot of like transient stuff
that's
not actually
crossed over stuff that is,
yeah. People don't listen to the Police and go, "Wow, this seems really complicated," because it just sounds like it sounds.
Yeah, but it is. It's hideously complicated.
Yes,
and I mean the chord pattern of that song is "As Long as Your Arm Too." So
yep,
yeah, there's a lot happening in that one, but I love it. I love it very much. It's one of those that I built my voice as a teenager around Sting and Bono. So that's one I do not need prompting for. I fully have every note of that one in my heart. So we'll do that.
All right, next in our set list is Centerfold, Jay Giles Band.
Nice. Yeah.
Also a little problematic,
sure.
But we lead into it as here's a tale as old as time. I'm sure everybody's been through this.
Yeah.
It seems to go over. And it is, people like it because there's the na 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 na. Everybody loves that.
Of course.
And you do get you get people clapping during the false ending. That's always fun.
Yeah.
We don't go all the way to the end, like to just the whistles. We wrap it up a bit before that.
Yeah.
But that one crushes consistently.
Yeah, that one's a winner. I've got on here, and having gone through the exercise of talking this through, it's probably one that I need to cut for energy. I've got the purpose of this song already handled other places, but it's Hold Me Now, Thompson Twins. Which I love, but
I love that song
I know
so much.
I seriously love the song, and maybe it's the one I keep, and maybe Eyes Without a Face goes away because they're a similar energy.
We've done it before, and it Wang chunged its way out of our list, and it's probably one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah,
80s notwithstanding, the second verse is absolute masterpiece.
Yeah,
you say I'm a dreamer, we're two of a kind. Both of us searching for some perfect world we know we'll never find.
It's
so
gorgeous.
good.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. So we'll see if it stays or if it Wang Chung's out.
Well, funny you mentioned it, like, oh, here's this thing where this energy kind of drops. For us, we're doing Time After Time. Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
And that's one that's consistently been in the list, even though it's a bit of a downer. Because it stands out so much from the other stuff that we do, we call it out. It's like, all right, guys, this is it's couples only skate, do the roller rink terminology and let people know that it's time to, dance awkwardly like you're in junior high.
Right.
Do the hands out.
Yeah. Full straight arm.
Way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just it's a vocal line that's right in Amber's sweet spot. And it's a harmony line that I just love to sing.
Great on it. And
yep.
Yeah. It's a beautiful tune. Taylor and I've done that on acoustic forever. So, adapting it in wouldn't be too tough.
Yeah, I think I'm just a sucker for harmonies below the melody line.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because it gives me a break because normally I'm singing above what she's singing.
Right.
So maybe it's just biased. I don't know.
Right.
What do you got?
Up next for us, Hurts So Good, Mellencamp.
Nice.
Which I think is a banger. I haven't played it since high school, but I love it.
What did we do? Life Goes On.
Yeah,
we
did.
Good one too. I'm sorry. Jack and Diane.
Jack and Diane. Yeah.
I'm an idiot. We did it for live band karaoke. We had never done it before. We literally did it like 2 months ago. It's the first time we've ever played it. 10 years.
Huh. Oh, you just pulled out
And I
that.
think
Yeah.
and yeah, there's like, I think it's got 3 different guitar parts in it, and you just kind of alternate them.
Yeah. That
There's
sounds right.
the turnaround part, and then the verse is
The
pretty much
acoustic
the same
piece.
Yeah, there's not much
that's a
to
good
it.
tune.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Hurt So Good's pretty straightforward too.
Yeah, we're going in the exact opposite direction. Right after that, we're doing Let's Go Crazy, which is typically what we start our second or whatever the last set is, because that's just a good way of building the energy back up. Because first off, it draws everybody's attention because
The prayer,
you've
the
got the
preacher,
dearly beloved.
Yeah.
And that one just crushes, and it's so fun to play, and it goes over.
That's cool.
It crushes every time.
That's cool.
And then this is the time where this is where we do Sledgehammer right after that.
I see. Okay.
And then that one is a twofer that goes right into I Love Rock and Roll. Very different vibes, very different grooves, same tempo. So again, we're always trying to like surprise people, trying to give them something a little different.
Yeah.
Without dropping the energy level.
Yeah. And again, you're doing the same thing you did at the beginning of the set. You're sort of triangulating on different subgenres of 80s.
Right.
So that's a cool move. My next up after Hurt So Good is Power of Love, Huey Lewis.
Funny you mention it. Power of Love is right after I Love
How
Rock.
about that? Well, and it's a great one to do because we've talked some about what's the right Huey Lewis. This is clearly the right Huey Lewis because you're getting, again, the movie bank shot.
Yeah, the Back to the Future tie-in gives you a bit more cachet. And actually, there was a period of time where that was our second set starter, and I had like the Back to the Future score kind of coming up under it. I don't know if it necessarily translated, and so we stopped doing it. But yeah, it's not the Huey Lewis song I would want to do, but it is the Huey Lewis song that I choose to do.
It's the right one. I think it's the right one.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great Huey Lewis tunes. If Huey Lewis and the News is on my list of tunes I'd love to do, or bands I'd love to do a tribute act to.
Oh, 100%.
It'd be so much fun. But
yes. We could do it together. It would be Huey's Lewis. Or something like
the Huey Lewis's.
Yes.
And the new.
I don't think that.
And the new.
And the Newsies.
The Newsies is. Yeah. Yeah.
Huey's Lewis and the Newsies.
That's right. Yeah. Put the band
sure
in
we get
ball caps or flappy, Newsies. I was suddenly doing Newsies. That's the reference I'm trying to make and failing. That's what's happening now.
Hey man, third time's a charm.
Oh,
second time.
Let's not do it a third time.
Oh my God.
I think we got this.
I hope I just didn't curse myself.
I know. Well, fortunately, things can only get better because that's my next tune, the Howard Jones tune.
Nice.
Things can only get better. Which I love that song.
It's on our list. It's typically a first setter. It didn't make it on this particular show, but yeah, I love that song. I still think it's a first setter because kind of like what you were saying with Duran Duran, it takes a second for people to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
And so I typically draw attention to it and be like, here's the part that you guys all know, and then whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right.
And then people are like, oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, it's that Howard Johnson hotel.
The old Hojo.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We're back to the bangers. Like we're on the back half. This is all just crushers. So right after this is Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Pat Benatar.
Nice.
So again, showing our biases. Pat Benatar is top of the list.
Sure.
And then we're the last 5 of this set are pretty much, well, actually, sorry, we've got a few more than that. But this is kind of where all the fist pumpers start.
I'm up to my last one because we knocked a bunch out up front. So, and I know you and I end the same place.
Yes.
And so you should continue to walk us there.
Okay, so we'll go and walk down our list, and then we'll end on the same note. Living on a Prayer. I mean, obviously, Heaven Is a Place on Earth, Belinda Carlisle. You're Loved by the Outfield. I think We're Alone Now, Tiffany. Some of those will be higher up in the list. Like if we're doing a 3-setter, we typically will do like a musical wallpaper set, dance set, rock set. And so like in that middle set would be all of the kind of upbeat dancey stuff. And that's where like, I think We're Alone Now and those would sit.
Sure.
Keeping on Moving, Sweet Child of Mine. That's no tracks. We'll do it to click because we stretch the breakdown section out a bit, introduce the band, like, ham it up, make sure that, everybody knows all of our social handles and all of that stuff. That's the time where we typically do that right before the show ends. Next one, Boys of Summer, but we do the Atari's version, which is just more fun because 2 guitars, just full out, loud, distorted. And it really seems to be hitting a lot recently because I think there's this kind of like millennial resurgence of this kind of stuff. And so it hits on 2 fronts because you got the people who love the Don Henley song and they're like, oh, I remember this I remember the Atari's version, and so it kind of hits on two different levels. And it just crushes. Like it's fun to play and it's fun to sing. And then the last two, these are the same two that we end every show with. Does not fail every single time. Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard. And then, of course, the last one, Dan.
Don't Stop Believin.
Don't Stop Believin by Journey.
Yep.
Never fails.
Yep. It's, among the pantheon of songs that everybody's going to scream along with, this and What's Up by Four Non Blondes and God Help Us, Sweet Caroline. This is the 80s closer song. Yeah. How would you end anywhere else? The New Strangers ended every show of its history with Purple Rain. And so probably I'm going to make that into a first set closer.
Yep.
Don't Stop Believin's obviously where you have to land.
Yeah, and it gives you the opportunity to leave people wanting more because you are ending the show at the absolute pinnacle of the energy. Whereas like sometimes, like you could do like a Purple Rain or like when we went and saw Third Eye Blind, they ended with How's It Gonna Be? And I was like, really? Just kind of ended it on a down note and then just walking off stage is kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, when you can go up there and just like blow the roof off on the very last song, because you've got the diehards and they're all hammered. Like this is the song that they've been waiting to hear all night.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
And then I'll just throw a couple out that we might do for an encore. Actually, there's really only one that we typically do an encore with, which is Fight for Your Right, Beastie Boys.
Yeah, good call.
The last few times we've done it, I've been like messing around with the lyrics. Your mom caught you juuling and she said no way.
Yeah.
But that's it, guys. That is the head-to-head 80s set list recap. If you are an 80s band or looking to start an 80s band, you need 2 hours of music, hit us up. I'll gladly share the set list. Maybe we'll put it up on socials when the episode comes out.
Yeah.
Just so people have something to reference.
Yeah.